There's a contest for the best Caesar revealed. Meanwhile, Mary Fred needs help buying wheels. Wayne and McMurray attend to help Dicker, but in the end, Mary Fred's the one who closes the deal.
That fresh produce stand there, that's a beauty.
What do you listen to?
My favorite murder podcast.
Taggart and Torrance podcast.
The produce stand.
Fucking sexy.
It's Ferta Friday, and that means we are once again hanging out at the Produce Stand, a podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one is the most hick. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room as always is lovely Tanya, and online we have Squirrely Matt and the vodka-loving Victor. And I don't know if that's true. I'm just stereotyping.
Vodka-loving.
Well, you know, he's from Russia or from Georgia there. Joining us this week, he's a patron. He's from, where's my mouse? He's from
Massachusetts.
He's an active member of our Twitter DM group. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy, even if he is a Bruins fan. Please join me in making some noise for Raymond. Where the hell's my? There it is.
Oh my Lord!
Okay.
Oh my god!
Hold on.
Wait! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I regret nothing.
Welcome to the Produce Stand, Raymond. How are you tonight?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on, and thank you for all your support. I mean, the reason you're on is you're a patron. This is your first time at the Produce Stand. How does it feel?
It feels great. I've been listening. Basically, I started commuting back to work in the summer.
Yeah.
Just started listening. It's about an hour commute each way, so I have 2 hours in the car. So I crushed through, 9 seasons worth of podcasts. Wow. And now I'm caught up. So
Attaboy.
to go.
Time well spent. The reason it was a choppy intro. I'm please forgive me because I've got a new setup going on here. I've got a new camera, new board. And so now my soundboard is on this screen. So I'm having to look over. Anyway, lots of excuses, but anyway, that's why this is my first time with this new setup. Yeah. I'm going to figure it out as we go, but, Raymond, we're happy to have you here. So tell us, I already let the cat out of the bag. Where are you calling or speaking to us from?
I'm from Massachusetts, about 20 minutes south of Boston.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you do there?
So I work for a veteran service organization. Mm-hmm. Our headquarters is in a homeless shelter for veterans.
Oh, wow.
We do a lot of other supportive services for veterans and their families. So that's what I do.
Very nice.
Good on you, man.
Yeah, well done.
Nice.
Cool. And so when and where did you discover Letterkenny?
So it was at some point in the pandemic. I can't remember when, but I saw a lot of the hockey stuff.
Right.
And I follow a lot of the, hockey stuff online. So I was like, I'll give the show a shot. I think I watched it in a couple of weeks, early on in the pandemic, and got caught up really, really quick. Yeah. So waited, 8-9 months for the new season, and really excited that it's finally out.
Well, and you're a Bruins fan. I won't hold that against you, but being that as it may, you get the blue spatula. There you go. You get to see the blue spatula that early. You should feel lucky. Very few people. Only Chad sees the blue spatula this early in an episode, I got to say.
Did you guys have to buy a new spatula, Victor, for the kitchen? Because this one, I assume, just lives at the computer now.
Yeah. So this is actually a degreed. Al will understand what degreed is.
Oh, yes, degreed. What? Okay, Hold on. What kind of swag are spatulas? They're giving away spatulas as swag? I don't get that.
Seriously.
That's not a thing.
That's a thing.
I'd be so disappointed if I get a swag bag from a company and in it is a fucking blue spatula. I gotta say,
it came with a very pretty chef.
Oh, okay. All right. I see. So it's kind of a team building thing. Oh, gotcha.
Sure,
all right.
You got it.
Okay. All right.
Well, you know what though? Now Victor's coined the blue spatula. It's going to be a thing. It's going to pop up everywhere. People are going to be like, you're out of line, blue spatula.
The other thing, Ray, do I call you Ray or Raymond? What would you prefer?
Ray's fine.
Ray's fine.
Ray's fine.
The other thing, Ray, that you're witnessing is the new Produce Stand uniform. We're all wearing our Diabolical Coffee Produce Stand hats. Matt, I hope you've taken a screenshot because we're gonna have to share this.
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
Well, I don't know if Victor's going to keep his on.
I try to find a moment when I take my screenshots. It's an art form.
Okay.
Yeah, usually when somebody's making a dumb face.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
All right. Well,
how are you now?
Tonight's lineup is going to be Victor, Tanya, Matt, Al, and our guest Ray is going to have the final word. Victor, how's your week?
Week has been a disaster, so I'm glad I'm going first because then hopefully, because everyone loves Raymond, he'll bring us up at the end. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. On Wednesday, I woke up and found out that my dad was rushed to the hospital. He's got COVID, and my stepmom has COVID. But yeah, so he basically they diagnosed him with COVID. They called it COVID pneumonia, which why don't you just call it pneumonia? Why do you have to call it COVID pneumonia? Why do you have to make it sound more scary? Anyway, so
it's like Sharknadoes. What is it? Is it a tornado or there's sharks? I mean, they're both sufficiently scary. You don't need to combine the two. What the fuck?
The same thing.
Yeah. I don't mean to make light of this. Sorry.
Yeah, no, well, you have to though, right?
Wow.
So anyway, so they put him on antibiotics and they sent him home. Because there was more people that actually were dying that needed to be looked after. And so they sent him back home. Normally, like if this was not COVID times, they would have kept him. You know, he's 86 years old and he was not in good shape. Anyway, so he went back home and he's like very high fever and not doing well and but he's not dying. So my instruction is, if it's, if the fever is below 39, then, just bear with it and, hope for the best. And if it goes above 39, then just call 911, send him back to the hospital.
Wow.
There's nothing you can do for him. So right now it's like 87, what is it? 38.7. So just under 39.
Right.
So so he's just holding on now. So he's probably going to have another bad night and hopefully tomorrow things will start to get better.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
And it's almost kind of undermining the fact that my stepmom has COVID as well. It's just her symptoms are not anywhere near as severe. So she's the one kind of the strong one looking after him. And there's nothing we can do. Right. It's just, you just kind of wait it out and who knows where the heck they caught it. Everyone's catching it now. It's like, it's just, it's crazy. Right. So, so just going through that and just trying to get through the week. So hoping for better news in the next few days. But right now things are stable.
Do they live close by?
No, not like, because Toronto is a big city, right? So we live in the East York. They live in North York, right on the edge of Vaughan, for those that know. So it's like it's an hour drive, right? Wow. So but even if we're close by, like it's not like we'd be going there. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing we can do except endanger ourselves by getting it and then making my mother-in-law sick and my kids and you know what I mean? Like it's one of these things that it's just if there's nothing we can do to help, then why would we expose ourselves?
Right.
It just doesn't make it's such a terrible thing.
Yeah. I know our neighbor, she recently went through the whole COVID thing, and she was talking about something about having like an oxygen meter that is on your finger or something. Apparently Costco was selling them, and that you can
pulse ox or something like that.
That you can monitor your oxygen levels. If your oxygen level dips down again, 911.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing that many people that get COVID, the big danger is breathing, is being able to breathe, and that's not what they're having all the regular symptoms, but breathing is not one of them.
Oh, good.
They don't taste anything. The big problem with my dad is the pneumonia and the fever, because the fever is good. But if it gets too high, then he will pass out. And you know what I mean? So at that point, he probably needs to hooked up to an IV and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that, when do you go, when do you not go? So I just said, I looked it up, 39.4. That's
I hope they're keeping their fluids in.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So my stepmom's looking after him. She's doing her best. And like I said, if they make it through the night without having to call 911, I think that things will get better tomorrow, because the antibiotics are going to take their...
Definitely keep them in our minds, for sure.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, so there you go. That's my week.
Amen. Tanya, can you bring us up from that?
Oh God, I'm next.
No.
Oh God. So yeah, kids are home. We had a COVID struggle as well. Not that we have it or anything like that, but just this huge debate as to what to do with the kids next, and schools going back, and do we keep them home or do we send them back? And unfortunately, we're not able yet to vaccinate our daughter. So we're at this kind of standstill, kind of like, yeah, we're in this icky muck place that we've got to make some hard decisions. So we have decided to keep the kids home with us temporarily until the schools are allowing us to do it, until the second semester starts for high school, and mid-February for the elementary school. And so that's what we've decided to do, just for now, and see how things go. But government's changed everything up here, so we're not going to track it like we tracked it before, which is a new kind of whole wrench into the mix. So yeah, just trying to figure it all out and go with the next step. So that's still kind of on Victor's.
I'm going to use my soundboard again here.
So sorry, that's still keeping it down, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have to admit that kind of sucks.
I know. Okay. Excitement. Okay, so we are watching what we eat carefully, and I'm like super duper uber excited. That's so silly of me. I've been around an 8-year-old for all day. It's a PA day today. So if I don't swear and talk in icky terms, that's probably where it's coming from. But anyways, I made bagels for the first time today in my entire life. And I'm like so excited about these damn bagels that I've made. Not that I'm a bagel eater, just that it's a carb that I can eat, because it's like made with yogurt and flour, and that's it. So that's my excitement. I was pretty damn excited at it.
A slow week.
It's a bit.
You're on the verge of getting the spatula right.
I know, right? Okay, Matt.
I'm so sorry.
Save us,
Okay,
Matt.
skip me,
Save
Matt.
us.
Oh,
Save
but you
us.
know I'm not going to.
I'll
try.
It's all going to be
I'm
on you,
gonna
Ray.
get the what
I'm
sound
going to start
again.
low, and then I'll try to bring it up. I mean,
Oh man,
you guys know I hadn't really talked on the groups, but we have had COVID in our house. Like this has been my week. So it was late Thursday or early Friday morning last week.
Yeah.
Wifey tested positive on a rapid test. I tested negative at the time, but I was hit like a brick the next day. So I kind of just assumed that that's what I got hit with. So I was just coming out of the gutter from feeling like shit through the holidays, and then we thought we were good, and then this happened. What the fuck? I can tell you from my experience, Saturday I was a hot mess. Didn't just leave me the hell alone. I just was a snotty mess. Sunday was starting to rise, and since then, like, I'm still not 100%, but I've been pretty good. I've been sustainable. Jen, on the other hand, I mean, she started off okay, and has turned the last few days.
Oh shit.
I mean, she's okay, but she's definitely not herself. Having a bit of a rough time. And like I said, keeping the fluids going, trying to get everything going. But it's tough. I mean, if it was just her and I sick, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But we've got the damn dog who we're in quarantine, so we can't even walk him through the neighborhood. So he's a hot mess. Caden's been kept home from daycare, of course, which is where we actually think we caught it.
right? Because there was a kid that was exposed in his daycare, right?
Kids share.
Well, we found that
Little
out later.
petri dishes.
So that's what we're kind of assuming it all came from. And he's actually been fine. Like, he's had the same little cough he always has, and he's as happy and as crazy as he, if not more, which has been even more fun. Trying to balance all that. So he's a blast. But I mean, we're coping. It's. I mean, I saw something the other day. It kind of pissed me off. I get it, but it kind of pissed me off because I'm like, people were asking me. I'm like, it felt like a bad cold to me. Was me. And then I see some article from like Toronto Star. So I'm saying, oh, people need to stop describing it as a bad cold. I'm like, well, that's how it fucking felt to me.
Yeah,
I get it. I get what you're saying. It's way worse, but this is how it felt to me. I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't know how to describe it else like in any other way. Yeah. So that's what it felt like. And that's how I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
But
There's
anyways,
nothing wrong with describing it that way.
No,
as long as there's not a hidden agenda behind it.
Exactly,
Right?
and that's
Yeah.
like that's why I don't.
As long as you're forming a government policy on that kind of information,
Right.
And I've heard too, like,
actual science. Yeah.
And the reality is that it probably feels like a bad cold is because you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it probably would feel quite
Could
worse
be.
if you weren't, right? I mean, that's the other
I have a friend
aspect
that
of it.
did the same thing. She's like, for me, it was pretty mild. Like I must have got a mild case, or the vaccine was helped her through it. And they got over it all right. But yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, we're spreading everywhere. It is what it is. I mean, so that happened. And then, I mean, I don't want to get hung up because it's obviously the hot topic. And yesterday was my birthday. So
yes, there we go. All
that was my
right.
birthday.
Awesome.
And again,
yes.
thanks, Ray, for moving. I pivoted at the last second. I clearly didn't check my calendar. It wasn't my birthday call on Thursday. And not that I didn't want to spend it with you guys. I love all you guys. That's not the point. But we just wanted to hang out. Again, with COVID this week and the mess we've been, we're like, let's order in. We ordered Thai, which I fucking love. It was delicious.
Could you taste it then?
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
You still have your taste?
You shared a picture of yourself on Facebook with a Mexican sombrero. I thought you.
No,
you had
I didn't share
Mexican.
that. That's what Jen shared.
Oh,
and that's from like 4 years ago.
I was gonna say you're going to the wrong kind of Thai place. If you're
a Mexican Thai.
If you're having pad Thai, but they're giving you a sombrero to wear, and
No. So we just stayed in. I'm pretty sure Jen's trying to fatten me up. I told her, I said, because I know how she's feeling. I'm like, don't do anything. Like, honestly, I don't care. And I think she ordered Amazon or something. But anyways, I got a giant bag of Slim Jims and macarons and a cake came. And like, I'm like,
Slim Jims.
So I've been doing nothing but like munching out for the last 2 days. It's pretty terrible, but I love it. We hung out last night. We ordered in. We watched the new Marvel Eternals movie, which wasn't that well. It's not that great.
No,
there's I will say there's hints. They had there was some good hints of brilliance there.
Okay,
but it's like they tried to do all of the Avengers in one movie.
Oh, is it all their origins and shit?
But yeah, exactly. They kind of tried to tell like a massive story in one movie, and it just kind of fell flat. But there's hints there of what's to come, so I'm pretty excited about that because I know I stay pretty close to what's en route. So yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was a nice day yesterday, and I mean, I'm feeling better and better. Jen's a little rougher, but we're staying positive and doing what we can.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good. So. Better note there to end on. Very good. You're talking about Marvel. I watched Shang-Li yesterday or a couple of days ago.
That was pretty good.
It wasn't bad. I love the action scenes, the fight sequences were amazing. Yeah, the story was whatever, but the fight scenes were really, really good. What's his name? He did an amazing job in that movie.
I forget his name, but yeah.
Yeah, well, Kim's Convenience dude there. He's really good. Let's see. This week was kind of my Christmas. I mean, I got to say, I got so much shit coming to me this week in the mail. Like I got the standard Christmas gifts around Christmas time, but I bought myself with my work points. I bought myself a new board, a new Rodecaster Pro. I've been waiting to get this sucker for the last 2 years, and now I've got it. Bought myself a little webcam. The hoodie I'm wearing here is compliments of the DM group. I used part of that gift certificate to buy this. It's a Gibson hoodie. Thank you very much, guys.
They sell clothes there. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they sell
like the you got like I wish you could zoom in. Like the zipper on the Gibson.
It's a headstock of a guitar. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Details.
We got our Pros Stand Diabolical Coffee hats in the mail today. I mean, everything's coming up roses for Al. So sorry, guys. Dexter finale was last Sunday. Well, I mean, it dropped last Sunday. Tanya and I watched it. I thought it was good. I enjoyed. I liked it. I understand the complaints. My only complaint with it was I was hoping we'd get more seasons of that. So
come on.
I'm still not convinced we're not going to.
Right, but
but it's going to be like Dexter Jr. Like
no spoilers, but
yeah,
I loved what they were doing with it, and I thought they did an amazing job bringing back the suspense and everything that made the original Dexter really good. I thought they did a really good job, and I didn't
Broke
hate
my heart all over again.
I didn't hate the finale as much as a lot of people did.
I didn't know people hated it. I thought it was all right.
Who knows?
I was a little disappointed, but but overall it was all right.
Yeah,
Come on.
I thought it was good. I don't think it could have ended any other way. And let's see.
It could have ended many other ways. Which
Absolutely.
That's a crazy thing to say.
I think it was the right way to end it.
Yeah.
I think it was the right way.
From your perspective, it was the right way to end it.
Anyway, so that's basically my week in a nutshell. Ray, how was your week? Lots of pressure on you.
So actually, well, it started off very similar to all yours. We had a little bit of a COVID scare here.
Oh no.
Ended up being all good. And we got our first snowfall last week. So I got to take a snow day, stay home. And
nice.
I got to take my 3-year-old sledding for the first time.
Oh,
and
fun.
we took her last year, but she was like, didn't love it. You know, was a little scared. This year, she was all about it. We got her a nice fast sled. She's cruising down the hills. It was a lot of fun. She enjoyed it. I also got to take her ice skating for the first time, which was great.
Wow. Awesome.
She loves that too.
You said she's 3?
3 years old. Yeah.
Very good.
And then, I have a 3-month-old at home too. So he's
you busy.
Through the night.
Busy.
So I'm kind of crushing it this week. I've got more than 4 hours of sleep a night for the first time in 3 months. So I'm good to go.
Well, that's good news there then.
Don't miss that.
Yeah.
Neither do I. And I'm glad we'll never have to go through that.
You're
again.
between feedings right now, right?
Literally. If I have to run away, that's what I'm doing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Matt's done that before. Cool. So, I mean, it sounds like, with the newborn at home and stuff and the weeks we've all had, we should probably have some coffee.
I knew that's right.
So let's hear this word from our lovely sponsor.
Just like Skodude Energy Drink, Diabolical Coffee has a new spokesperson, me. Diabolical Coffee is devilishly good coffee and diabolically awesome swag. There is a roast for all tastes and even some you didn't know you wanted. You can order whole bean, coarse, and standard grind, and espresso. Or if you're like Al and me, there's a K-Cup option for single cup brewers. And for the duration of season 10 of our podcast, you can use the promo code Produce Stand for 10% off anything in the store. That's 10% off all coffee and merch. Thank you to Diabolical Coffee and to Eric for your support.
Yes, thank you. I feel like I missed an opportunity there for when she says standard grind for her to say grind. Just
And seriously, Tan, if you don't get any job offers out of this, I'll be blown away. Has Eric heard it? What has he said?
You know what? I mean, I haven't heard from him. Like he liked the post, but I haven't heard from him like either way, whether he enjoyed it or not. I'm hoping he did. I mean, I'm knowing him.
He clearly didn't listen to it, or else you would have heard something.
Yeah, you'd think so, right?
I can't listen to it without laughing my ass off.
It's we're all laughing for the other, but it's very well done. Like you do a great job. I want to say that.
And good job composing that music in the background.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah, thanks.
So okay, I gotta confess. So I laugh at that. So I played it for my sister. My sister is I played it for my sister and my brother-in-law, and they laughed. And my voice has a different effect on her than it does anyone else. Anyways, I won't go there, but it has a different effect. So she wants me to record my voice for other reasons. So, anyways, I played it for my daughter today. I'm like, you want to hear something funny?
I just
the commercial, because it's just a commercial, okay, right? It's just my voice in a low set or tone or whatever.
A low tone. Anyways, I pause and I'm laughing during the thing, and I stop it right after it's done. And she's like, "Mom, your voice doesn't sound like you." And I'm like, "I know." I lowered it, and she's like, "But you sound like the voice from a person that sells underwear." And I went, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, like, those makeup commercials or those underwear commercials." And she's like, "That's the voice." And I'm like, "And how do you know those commercials? Where have you heard that before?" And she's like, "Well, YouTube, when she watches her show." And I'm like, "Can you point that out to me next time you hear that? Cause I'd be interested." Anyways, and she's like, "Why was everybody laughing?" I said, "Because we're laughing that my voice sounds like those girls, those ads."
That's why we're laughing.
That's why we're laughing.
Anyway, thank you, Diabolical Coffee and Eric, for your support. And speaking of support, here's our Twitter roll call. I won't even say how many people there are on here. I'll just start reading them off here. Welcome to Angie, Rick Schmitz, Francisco Vasquez, Brian Carosoni from St. Louis, Dwight T from Nashville, Mike Crabb, Mike C, Mellow Wick from Illinois, Sub Cool AMG from Phoenix, Arizona, Eric Neagle from Marion, Illinois, Dan McDonald from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Louis from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Cucamonga.
I've heard that before, but I just thought that was like a pretend place. I didn't know that was an actual place. Anyway, Megan from Hampton, David from David DeSilvi, Nick Mayo from Florida, Steve Roth, George Musto, or Musto maybe, Chad from North Carolina, Jeremy Hendry, Andrew J. Suggett from Milwaukee, Jules Way from South Bend, Indiana, Summer 19, Nathaniel Cronish from Washington, D.C., Rance Shields from Gunnison, Colorado, Jen Helbus from Minnesota, Watton from Daytona Beach, Florida, Mike P., Walt the Crew fan from Arizona, Elijah Burrell from Alberta, Lisa Bay from Durham, North Carolina, Eric, Kevin Kelly, Donnie Lynn from Collinston, Louisiana, Brittany Arias from Los Angeles, Garrett Comets from Michigan, Ryan Elser from Pike Creek, Delaware, Carl Nilsson from River Falls, Wisconsin, Bring More Knives, Aaron Gobrag from Cambridge, Ontario, Philip Jan from Thornton, Colorado, Steve Brooks, Jill Jones from St. Louis area, Buddy Repperton, Spider from New Orleans, Mo from California, Ryan Wagler, Lex 2 Phoenix from Phoenix, Jeff Pascal from Springfield, Oregon, and Kristen McIntyre from Arlington, Virginia. Yikes. Thank you all for listening and hopefully for following.
Previously on Letterkenny.
Wait, that's right. Thank you all for following and hopefully for listening. Oh, man. I need that Diabolical coffee right now.
You think I'm not listening?
No, you are listening. It's crazy. I'm not, though. Here we go.
Previously on Letterkenny.
Last week, we recapped and reviewed episode 1 of season 10, King of Suckers. And that episode was a unicorn receiving a fresh from all of us, including our guest, Danielle. According to
wow,
I'm not having a good names day. You know what? It's Friday. I'm tired. I'm suffering from
your
the
new board,
victory.
right?
I had a busy day today at work. Anyway, according to Twitter, 83.8% of you gave it a fresh, while 13.5% gave it a clearance, and 2.7% gave it a compost. This week, we recap and review episode 2 of season 10, Dealership. Victor, have you done your homework?
I have.
Tanya, have you done your homework?
Once.
Matt, have you done your homework?
Twice.
I've done my homework. And Ray, have you done your homework?
Repeatedly.
Excellent.
Let's get to the chorus.
All right. We open at the produce stand. Wayne and Squirrely Dan are sitting and drinking when Katie and Derry arrive. Katie is acting exasperated.
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Have you ever been to Dan's second cousin's house?
Who, Garrett?
No, Jarrett.
Oh, yeah. I put a field car in their back pond one time and have not been welcome back.
Oh, sure you are, good buddies.
Oh, I'm good buddy.
And why would that be, Wayne?
Because Dan's second cousins have the biggest hick house I have ever seen.
Wayne's.
I can beat it.
No, you can't.
Can too.
And not.
Can and will.
Katie, is this because we just came back from my second cousin's house down the side road?
Derry's second cousin's house down the side road is the biggest hick house I have ever seen.
Katie?
Look, yous are familiar with our stance on personal hygiene, so it should be no surprise our stance on home hygiene.
Sounds like you want to go head to head, Katie.
I'm ready for a hick off.
You guys gonna hick off in front of each other right here, right now?
I hicked off earlier today.
Wayne and Katie go back and forth with examples of either Squirrely Dan's or Derry's second cousins having the hickest house, like the fact that Squirrely Dan's second cousin, Llama, is named Cody because Squirrely Dan's cousin, Cody, is on the spectrums and named the llama Cody. And Cody's 2-year-old son, Cody Jr., was drinking a 2-liter bottle of cream soda while wearing a onesie that said sex instructor, first lessons free. Also, they call a bucket in a closet an ensuite bathroom. Meanwhile,
I didn't get that one.
Meanwhile, Derry's second cousin had bird shit on his carpet inside the house, although Derry argued that Katie couldn't prove that it was bird shit. Also, one of their living room chairs is just a flipped over blue box, and there was a car parts titty calendar on the fridge, and they have to keep the windows open because the whole place smells like piss. And then there's the clincher.
Derry's second cousin burned his eyebrows off cooking meth.
Yeah, that one won't be beat.
Dan's uncle has too many DUIs to drive truck, but still somehow drives a school bus.
Yeah, now that one won't be beat.
I did see what could only be a glory hole.
Katie, my aunt and uncle's sex life is none of your beeswax.
On the side of the goat pen.
Oh! You win.
And cue the theme. All right. Cold open. Victor, what'd you think of this?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Mhm.
I liked it because it wasn't just mindless nonsense. There was, we're learning about their family. We're learning about their roots,
Their second cousins.
That's right. And then I'm wondering, are they self-aware that they are Hicks themselves? So that was kind of interesting. And and then the way they ended it, because like the first, 3 seasons were all about Ginger and Boots and what they allegedly did to the
Yeah.
And then I kind of think, well, wait a second, isn't this the kettle calling the, what is it? The
pot kettle.
Stone house.
No, I know what you're trying to say.
Whatever.
Wow, you were like mixing like multiple metaphors there, Victor. Careful.
So anyway, I liked it.
Yeah. All right, Tanya.
Oh yeah. You know what? I didn't even get the whole bucket closet ensuite thing. They seem to have gone pretty fast during the show. So when we hear it in our cans, it comes out so much clearer. So yeah, it's super funny. I love how they went back and forth. It was a great cold open for sure.
Okay. Matt.
So it's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. Or you don't throw stones if you live in glass houses. So there's a couple of different metaphors there.
I don't think he was stumbling towards that one.
Well, no, he mentioned throwing stones in glass houses
with a kettle.
With a kettle.
Don't throw kettles at the glass house.
Matt, you're listening.
Don't throw a kettle at the glass house.
So yeah, I liked it a lot. This was a fun one, man. Like I thought the banter was great, and it built up really well. Like they did a great job of like, this joke's fun to this one. This one, like I'm sure there was a whole matching exercise when they were writing this section, and it was fantastic. The Cody thing killed me though.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I was dying. What is on the spectrum? And well, he got to name him, so he didn't go. Oh, that to me was the funniest part. And no, it was fantastic. I mean, this feels like old school Letterkenny. I mean, we talked about this already in the other one. Welcome back. Like they're doing what we all loved from the first season. Fun banter, whether it has purpose or not. It's just I love it. I could listen to this all day. And so I really enjoyed this open.
Okay. I liked it too. Yeah, it was good. I think great might be a strong word for this cold open. I think it was good. It was a solid cold open. My favorite parts are mirror yours or Matt. What's the name again? Cody or
Cody?
Yeah, Cody. Yeah, that was funny. The payoff at the end was just okay. Glory hole in the goat pen, whatever. Yeah. But I didn't mind it. It's like you said, classic Letterkenny and very amusing. And to Victor's point, there's not a lot of nonsense there.
The one thing we did, sorry, I meant to mention was Dan when they're about to get started. It's like, oh, so you were gonna get beers and
yeah, that was funny. I also really appreciated the bucket in the closet making that an ensuite, and the call.
You used the ensuite.
Yeah, and the callback after was Wayne said that they had something. What was it? Oh, Subway wrappers.
Yeah,
in the ensuite, or no, by whatever. I forget what the context was, but that was pretty funny too.
They miss doing like how many appliances are out in the yard or anything like that. Like we have a neighboring town near us, and we have
Riverside Bingo.
We call it Riverside Bingo, where you get in the car. This is when you're super bored. You get in the car and you go for a drive, and everybody picks an item. So you can pick appliance out in the outside somewhere on as an ornament in the front yard. How many cars? You can count the cars. Wheel well or wishing well.
Decorative well.
A decorative well. That's another one. So you pick an item and then you go through, and then the person that has the most items is the winner of the
And it's
the bingo.
close. It's close.
It's a fun game when you're bored.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, Ray, what did you think of this?
Squirrely Dan's just, whenever he does that subtle, just really slow or behind the talk or whatever, it just kills me.
Yeah.
Last season was the learn how to fucking drive, just at the perfect time. And then this time it's the, you said you're going to get beers first, but okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
right.
killed me. And then I lost it at Cody. I laughed through the rest of the cold open, had to go back to it. So I missed the payoff from laughing the first time. So for that, I'm going to give it a grade. Just maybe die laughing.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Coming out of the cold open, scene 1. Squirrely Dan, Katie, Derry, and Rosie are sitting at a picnic table outside the farmhouse. This is a new scene here too, in terms of like where they're shooting. Squirrely Dan and Derry are still arguing over whose second cousin has the hickest house. Wayne walks up. Rosie gets up to greet him, hands him a thermos. It's a big day, apparently. Wayne turns, and Rosie sends him off with a smack on the butt, and Wayne walks away. Derry's confused.
Where's he going?
Remember when Marie-Fred showed up at the bar during the launch of Andean Energy?
No.
Well, she did.
Why didn't you tell me about that?
You don't say your dirty laundries.
Yeah, give people something to talk about and they will.
Well, it's just rumors.
And you know the small town approach rumors.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
What does she want?
There's a truck she's been after for a while and found one at the dealership in the city.
Like here in the city?
Can confirm. English City, not Quebec City.
Great fashions in Quebec.
She asked Wayne to help her with the sale because the English will take liberties with the French.
And vice versa.
Well, why does he want to help her?
Because we owe her one.
Why?
It rhymes with schlong dick jerks.
And you're fine with this?
Yeah.
And Dandy?
No reason not to trust him till he gives me one, bud.
Katie asks everyone if they're
Sorry, really quickly.
Go ahead.
What's the owing? What did I miss? Or why am I forgetting a specific moment?
Remember the scene where Marie-Fred shows up at Wayne's door to warn him that she saw Derek's in Quebec with his cousin for his stag or bachelor party or whatever. And he was there with women and he left with the women and it didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically she came to rat on him she's the one who.
That's what sparked everybody to get in the truck to go, right?
That was the season 9 finale, right?
Yeah.
Like leading up. Okay. Yeah, got it.
So that's why they feel they owe her one. Anyway, Katie asks everyone if they're excited for the Caesar making contest at Modine's 3. Rosie says it won't be much of a contest. Squirrely Dan says he'll packs up the garnishes. Derry's still miffed that Wayne didn't ask him to go to the dealership with him. Derry says he dickers better than anybody. Squirrely Dan disagrees. Derry says who can dicker better than him? Cut to the dealership. Wayne and McMurray join Marie-Fred in the showroom. Marie-Fred greets McMurray, but stiffs arm him as he goes in for a hug. Marie-Fred thanks them for their help. She doesn't want to get her pants pulled down.
Oh, don't you worry your pretty little head, Mary Frederick. Wayne knows me better than anybody. And I know him better than anybody. That's why he knows nobody dickers better than me. Because he knows me better than anybody.
Okay, well,
And I know him better than anybody.
Is there anything you want to talk about there, Matt?
I just love McMurray so much, man. He's so like trying to give her a hug and she shuts him down and all right, how you know? You're good. Like he just says this whole ramble, and
that's why I felt so bad for him when everybody was calling him being such a dick to him on that stupid call-in show.
Yeah, but the rest of this episode here, he kind of he kind of goes back to earning his piece of shit.
But I genuinely every time I start to see that people make that comment about McMurray's a piece of shit. Yes, but I'm genuinely starting to feel bad for the guy. Like I love him so much. He means well. He's an idiot.
He does not mean well.
No, I think he does mean well. I think he's just misguided.
Wants anything in his pants.
No, you can be a perverted asshole and still mean well. I'm not saying everything he does is right, but I think he genuinely has everyone's, not in every case, best interest at heart. He takes some sidesteps and I'm like, he's a piece of shit, but I kind of love him. And his entrance, like when I saw him walk in with Wayne, I was done right there. I'm like, this is great. Here we go.
Anyway, Wayne has some questions before they start dealing with the dealer.
Well, I got a few quick questions here about the truck before we get this rig rolling.
Allons-y.
What year is it?
2017.
How many clips?
Short of 80,000.
V8?
V6.
That's better than a 4-banger.
Schmile a gallon.
16.
Highway or city?
16 city, 23 highway.
Ponish?
355.
Torque?
I don't know.
Probably around 380. Well, 380, 383, yeah. Ever been in an accident?
Fender bender.
You final claim?
Nope.
Warranty?
Good through 100,000 kilometers.
How long has one you want been on the lot?
Not a month.
Dealer above board?
Likes to take swipes.
Sorted.
Next scene at Modine's 3, the Caesar competition is getting underway. 4 teams are competing. Riley, Jonesy, Stuart and Rold, Rosie, Bonnie and Gail, and Squid and Katie and Derry. Across from their competitors are the judges, Jim Dickens, and a couple of his auctioneer buddies. The 3 of them are chatting it up and having a grand old time. Bonnie needs to yell at them to get their attention. How about now?
Dick skin!
Indeed. The Caesar building competition may begin. Each team will present their Caesars with a breakdown of ingredients. And then, upon completion of the presentation, spectators will be asked to raise their hands if they so desire the Caesar in question. From there, either I or one of my merry gregarious auctioneer chums will tally the show of hands and compare the grand totals team by team come competition's end. Now let's meet the judges.
Whoops. Dickens introduces his fellow judges, starting with Charlie Cueball Lawless. That's played by Tori Cameron, who's an actual auctioneer from an auction house in Sudbury called TNT Auctions. I looked that up. And Derek Broadway Olson, played by Scott Rudolph. This is his only IMDb credit. I couldn't find anything else about him, so I'm going to assume he may be a real auctioneer as well, but just no social media presence. So anyway, Dickens throws back to MC Bonnie to state the rules.
Usual rules. You'll state your base, your booze, and your rimmer with a maximum of 3 boosters and a maximum of 3 garnishes. Group at the end with the most hands up after their presentation, drinks free tonight. Yup?
Yup.
Super. My understudy will be taking over from here.
Your understudy?
I don't work tonight, and I want that free booze.
Here we go, Bono.
Saddle up, lady.
Who's your understudy, buddy?
In walks a Nick to music in slow motion, dressed as a referee. Everyone watches thirstily. A Nick says hi to Derry, who manages to spit out a wee hello. A Nick informs them that the reason she's in town is because she's looking after her grand-mère in Galway while her grand-père has an operation. She figured she'd pick up some shifts while she was there. Katie reminds Squirty Dan and Derry that if he cheats, or she cheats, sorry, Derry is well aware of the rule. Rosie gets a text from Wayne with an update to tell her they've arrived at McMurray's, and that McMurray's breath was so bad that he had to crack a window open. So first up in the contest are the Hicks.
Base. 100% Clamato juice.
Traditional Canadian approach. Booze.
Vodka, 3 ounces.
2's the norm, but 3's appreciated. Rimmer.
Hardly knew her.
Terry.
Wet the rims with lemon juice and then dust it with celery salts and Montreal steak spice.
You could have a contender here. Boosters.
Dash of Tabasco. Dash of Worcester. Shot of pickle juice.
Oh, won't stop you now. Garnishes.
Stick of celery, dill pickle.
And a Slim Jims.
Hey, I know a Slim Jim!
Cue Ball gets up and counts the crowd's show of hands, and the Hicks score of 15. Next scene, back at the dealership, McMurray asks Marie Fred where the salesman's office is. Marie Fred's about to correct him when the saleswoman, Lisa, approaches them. Lisa's played by Anna Hopkins, also known for being on the show Arrow, Bad Blood, Shadowhunters, and The Expanse. The 2 women greet each other.
Bonjour. Hello, Lisa. How are you? I'm perfect. Bring me a couple bluebirds. Pardon? Bluebirds. Unexpected sales opportunities, just a little dealer humor. Are they extra hands to help you catch your white whale? White whale. It's an expression derived from Herman Melville's classic novel Moby Dick. Ahab, captain of the whaling ship Pequod, chased Moby Dick, his white whale, but never caught it. So to say something is your white whale is to say it's something that you chase and never get.
See, this is exactly why I brought my cousins. Yeah. For when English goes over my head, you know.
I see.
Lisa greets McMurray and Wayne. Lisa says that Marie Fred should have really just taken the truck home with her to try it out. Marie Fred didn't want to risk an accident. She trusts herself on the road, but not others.
Who can blame you? No one loves drunk driving like the French.
The two sides get to dickering. Lisa calls on another woman named Charlotte, played by Steffi Di Domenicantonio. And that's a mouthful.
Nailed
of a
that
name.
one,
Yeah,
bud.
no, right. Anyway, she's a Canadian actress and singer who plays fifth on the fourth season of Canadian Idol. FYI. Lisa asks Charlotte to escort Marie, Fred, and the Hicks to her office while she gets them some refreshments. They thank Charlotte, who responds to Marie, Fred in perfect French. As Lisa walks off, McMurray comments that she was McMirroring. Marie, Fred is confused. Wayne clarifies the dealer was building a rapport with them by adopting their body language. Wayne added that she tried to get her with the puppy dog clothes too, which is when they let you take the vehicle home with you, so you fall in love with it. Wayne coaches Marie Fred. If there's a feature on the truck that she doesn't like, she needs to be prepared to say, well, I'm not paying for that. McMurray says that he's personally worried about the dealer, but then he makes a very McMurray comment.
But there sure is an awful lot of nice snatch around here, though.
Yeah. Next scene, back at Modine's 3. It's Riley and Jonesy's turn to present their Caesar.
Riley and Jonesy.
Has anyone dibs you yet?
Base.
Okay, we'll circle back. Half Clamato juice. Half Taumato juice.
Otherwise known as the Clamato Bloody Mary.
Actually, buddy, I believe it's half tomato and half clamato.
Is it? Booze.
3 ounces of vodka.
Seeing some welcome consistency in that category. Rimmer?
Wet the brim with some lime juice and then dust it with some celery salt and Montreal chicken spice.
Assaisonnement?
Excusez-moi.
Seasoning. Boosters.
Frank's Red Hot Sauce. 10 dashes of Worcestershire sauce.
Now it's a muddy season.
And of course, a shot of dill pickler juice.
Garnishes?
Of course. 1 dill pickler. 1 pickled pepper.
And 1 pickled egg. Protein, boys.
As the crowd applauds, Rosie gets a text update from Wayne informing her that McMurray used the word snatch in the company of women. Rosie responds that she isn't surprised. She also tells Wayne he doesn't need to sign his texts, to which Wayne responds, Roger, Wayne.
You don't need to sign your text?
No.
All right.
It's coming from your number. You don't need to tell people who it's coming from.
So this one, and I was going to mention this later, but I'll mention now.
Yeah, go
this
ahead.
this part really hit home for me when he's signing all his texts, because I have an older brother who does this, and he's a pretty reputable guy for what he does, and we make fun of him every time I get a text because everything is, but he initials it, so like la 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 MB. I'm like, why the fuck are you initialing your text? Like, it's a text. And so when I saw this, I laughed so fucking hard because I picture my brother in every single one of those, and I'm like, it's just socially awkward.
Well,
and isn't that just like the professional thing to do, or like the nice thing to do?
Message.
But it's just like the
There's
nice
nothing
thing to do.
professional about a text.
Okay,
text
the
is
nice
short.
thing to do.
It's a shorthand. You just it's to send a message. You don't need to. There's no.
You know who it's coming from.
Yeah, it's coming from somebody's number. You know who it is. Yeah.
Okay. But if you sign off on an email, why wouldn't you sign off on a text?
Emails are
It's
different.
not the same
No, it's not.
thing.
Texts are meant to be short and to the point.
And not only was he signing off, but he was also introing them. Like, hey,
oh, no, that's the. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. All right, hold on. All right, next scene. Back at the dealership, McMurray is snooping around the dealer Lisa's desk. He notes that her computer wallpaper is a picture of the softball team, which tells him a lot. Marie Fred asks McMurray what's on his wallpaper. He responds, it's Mrs. McMurray. Marie Fred asks Wayne, who responds, the dog. McMurray goes on to say that the wallpaper means that the dealer is no family man. Lisa appears behind McMurray to correct him that she is indeed a woman. She invites McMurray and Wayne to have a seat while she remains standing. McMurray sits, but Wayne remains standing because sitting is quietly murdering you. Lisa gets on with why they're there.
Let's get right to it. Good patio weather out there. We wrap this up, we can engage in some NSAs.
Non-sales related activities.
If I'm reading your buying signals correctly, you're no tire kicker.
Person with no ability to buy.
I'm not here to make an emotional sale.
Generating excitement around the product.
I've analyzed your bent.
Acronym for budget, authority, need, timeline.
And with any luck, I will be taking something significant to the decision maker.
She is the gatekeeper of the deal, but her boss is the decision maker.
Now, what can I do to earn your business today?
You've got a hard copy of the fab?
Features, advantages, and benefits, of course I do, McMorris. Charlotte!
I got mine. All right, so the truck comes with the full-length moonroof, eh? Mary Fred, you ever had a moonroof?
Nope.
Any desire for one?
It's nice, but I'm fine with the sunroof.
All right, so the truck comes with the full-length moonroof, and we're just fine with the standard factory sunroofs. Like, so I'm not paying for that.
The jousting continues between Lisa and the Hick men. Lisa continuously and purposely calls McMurray by the wrong name each time. Names like McMarshall, McMorris, and the funniest one is McMansplain. After a bunch of dickering, Lisa excuses herself to go see the decision maker. Once again, McMurray watches her leave and comments that he would love to have a bath with that gal. Next scene, back at the Caesar off. The next contestants are the Skids. Stuart attempts to dibs a Nick, but fails after an objection from Riley.
Base.
Half Clamato, half V8.
Add in nutrition. Uncharacteristic approach. Booze.
3 ounces of gin. Beefeater.
Gin Caesar.
Beefeater.
Very popular with the British.
Yeah, boy, you Peaky Blinders. Rob in it.
Matthew Crawley.
Rimmer.
What? The rim with soy sauce and dust it with celery salt and lemon pepper.
Breaking new ground here. Boosters.
Horseradish. Lemon juice. Macarico piri piri sauce.
I'm intrigued. Garnishes.
1 Baffin Island jumbo cocktail shrimp. 1 Salt Spring Island Dungeness crab leg.
That's the one.
1 Prince Edward Island Malpec oyster.
Okay, production note. I'm going to put my mansplain hat on now. During that exchange, Rold mispronounces Macarico piri piri sauce. It's actually Masarico, not Macarico. Also, when they're putting on their awful English accents, Rold hilariously mentions the name Matthew Crawley. I had to look this up. He's a character on Downton Abbey, apparently. So that's why that's funny.
Finally, reference to Peaky Blinders as well, which is a fantastic fucking show.
Just
saying.
And finally, except for the oyster, I'd totally pick the Skid Caesar if I drank Caesars, which I don't, but I might have to try. After watching that, I think I want to give a Caesar a try.
You'd give an oyster a go again?
No, I said except for the oyster, the rest of that Caesar was fire.
Yeah, I'm with you, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I could take those all night long.
Yeah.
Snot.
Oysters
Snot.
Snot.
Oh, snot.
You don't understand.
Snot.
So Ray, you're from
Massachusetts.
What's your stance on oysters?
I'm a bad Massachusetts person. I don't like fish or seafood really.
Oh wow!
Other than clam chowder, yeah, okay. I'm a horrible person.
Well, you don't even say chowder properly as a Massachusetts. Chowder.
So I spent like 5 years in Virginia, so it like ruined my accent.
Oh,
but,
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a hard pass on the oysters then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. It's okay. Yeah. That's all I needed out of that.
But when I saw the crab legs sticking out of that Caesar, I'm like, I'd give that a go.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, while Dickens tallies the votes, Rosie gets another text update from Wayne. Despite Rosie telling him he doesn't need to sign off on tests, he doubles down by starting his text with "It's Wayne," then telling Rosie that McMurray is pole vaulting all over the dealership before signing off with his name again. So in like a 2-sentence text, he identifies himself twice. The Skids' final score is 15. Okay, back at the dealership, scene 8, Lisa returns from the decision maker's office after calling McMartin. She informs them that her final price is the one on the sticker, $32.5K. McMurray offers $29.5K, but Lisa sticks to the sticker price.
Well, there is an awful lot of wear and tear on a gal over 80,000 clicks.
Good thing it's not quite at 80,000 clicks.
But it is almost at 80,000 clicks.
Good thing it's covered under warranty through 100,000 clicks.
30 out the door.
32 out the door.
Oh, come now. Yous knows and I knows that you got it at auction for low 20s.
I got it on a trade-in and I overpaid.
Not our problem.
If it's my problem, it's your problem.
30 out the door.
32 out the door.
I'm holding firm at 30.
I'm sorry I couldn't earn your business today.
It's like 3 degrees.
Another production note. Since most of our listeners are American, you may not know what the term clicks is slang for. It's for kilometer. Even though it sounds like McMurray is saying clits, which him being McMurray, he probably was, but he's meaning clicks. So when they're dickering and saying that the truck has 80,000 clicks and the warranty is for 100,000 clicks, that's what they mean. They mean kilometers. With the deal seemingly dead, Lisa calls for Charlotte, but Marie Fred makes one final attempt to save the deal.
Cash deal.
Cash?
Cash.
Why didn't you say so?
I thought you'd ask.
If it's cash, I'll do 30 out the door.
29.5 out the door.
30 out the door, and I'll go see the decision maker right now.
29.5 out the door, and I'll go see the decision maker right now.
Who can blame you? No one loves drunk driving like the French.
You didn't think I'd let that one go, did you?
Maybe the decision maker agrees with me.
Your assistant's been slipping into her French all day. Clearly a Quebecois accent. If she's the decision maker's niece, the decision maker most likely has some Quebecois in her too.
Charlotte! T'attends par français, hein?
Yeah. 29.5. Didn't need you here, McMurray. Charlotte!
I love the last shot she gives McMurray before she walks off, even though she just lost. Lisa storms off once again, giving McMurray an opportunity to watch her off. When she's gone, McMurray remarks that he doesn't think Lisa was wearing a bra. So it doesn't look like he took that as a loss at all. Back at Modine's 3, the last team up for judging are Bonnie, Rosie, and Gail.
That is the finest looking Caesar I've seen in a minute. Base.
100% Clamato juice.
Keeping it Canadian. Booze.
2.5 ounces vodka, 0.5 ounces moonshine.
Bold. Rimmer.
Wet rim with Louisiana hot sauce. Dust it with Old Bay seasoning and Cajun spice.
My oh my. Boosters.
Slappy Mama hot sauce.
Okay.
Spicy horseradish. And you gotta have that spicy garlic dill pickle juice.
Oh, yeah. We may have a new fan favorite here. And finally, garnishes.
Jalapeno stuffed olives, and a spicy dill pickle, and
a slab of black pepper, habanero, beef jerky.
By the crowd's reaction, it seems the ladies have won, but Dickens interrupts. He and his fellow judges are now quite lubricated on account of all the Caesars they've consumed. Dickens insists on the retally of all the votes. It turns out everyone scored 15 because you can't see a Caesar and not want a Caesar, thereby exposing a fatal flaw in the scoring of this competition. It's a 4-way tie. So Gail announces that everyone gets a free Caesar. The crowd goes wild. Rosie gets a text update from Wayne. The deal's closed. He's on his way home. McMurray refused a mint. Next scene, Wayne and McMurray and Marie Fred leave the dealership. Wayne walks Marie Fred to her new truck, opens the door for her, shakes her hand, and closes the door behind her and walks away without so much as a grin, leaving Marie Fred sitting there disappointed. Final scene. At Modine, Squirrely Dan and Derry are still arguing back and forth about whose second cousin is more of a hick. They haven't stopped all episode, but now the argument is turned the other way. They're each arguing that their second cousin is the most hick.
I saw my second cousin garnish her Caesar with a dart. It's a true story.
I once saw my second cousin rim his Caesars with M's DMAs.
Yeah.
True stories.
Oh, yeah? Well, my second cousin says the Leafs win the True Cup every year they don't have a Russian on the team.
Oh, yeah? My aunt joined us for New Year's Eve pond hockey last year's and called me a pussies because I wouldn't strops the gloves with her.
Oh, yeah? Well, my second cousin's got a salad bowl filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Oh, yeah? My second cousin's got a big gulp filled to the brim with chew spits.
Ugh.
Outside Modine's 3, Wayne pulls in from his trip to the city. Rosie meets him at his truck.
How are you now?
I'm pert near positive the smell of McMurray's breath has attached itself to the upholstery.
Thanks for checking in.
You're welcome. You all right?
No reason not to trust you till you give me one, bud.
Well, feel like dancing?
Nah, let's go home.
And fade to black. Victor, you're up first. What do you think of this episode?
Oh, it was a fun episode. Obviously, I was going to like this episode. It's got my favorite beverage. Get some redemption against all the degens on social media who gave me all the flack for.
Oh, you noticed Matt's poll? Oh no. You didn't see Matt's poll, did you? Matt, you're going to share the results of your poll?
Matt, you're showing your poll online, are you?
Yeah, he is. It's showing it. Actually, he asked me to retweet his poll because it wasn't getting.
Well, I knew we'd get a few more votes if you.
Anyway,
now you're touching Matt's poll. I'm sorry. What's going on?
I'm retweeting Matt's poll. Anyway, I'm sending it out to all our listeners. Go ahead, Victor.
You shared it.
So I can't recall what the thing about the poll was, but all I remember some hot exchange online on our DM group about most folks being against the idea of a Caesar because it had Clamato juice, but it's the best drink, it's the best beverage, and so anybody that disagrees is a degen. So this was a redemption episode.
Oh, okay. All right, overall positive there. Tanya, what do you think?
Sorry, I'm going back to the Caesar. I had a flashback. I remember being at a friend's house, and I think I was like 12, and their parents drank a lot of Caesars, and the only juice at the house was Clamato juice. So we used to drink the juice. Yeah. And anyways, I just had a flashback being in the basement and drinking, finding the juice and drinking. Anyways,
it's delicious. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
I can't say that I've had a whole lot of. I don't recall ever actually ordering or drinking a Caesar before, but I did grow up that if you didn't have enough vegetables, you were forced to drink V8 juice and putting salt and pepper in the juice cup to try to get the juice down. That was a thing.
V8 is already seasoned. You don't need salt.
Oh no, you do. You need a little bit more in order to get it going.
It's a delicious juice. What is happening? What kind of a bizarro?
It's not a delicious juice. It's a juice that requires more salt. I don't know. That was when I was a kid.
Maybe you would like Clamato then, because isn't Clamato like?
Yeah, I think we should get it go. I put it on the list. We have to have a Caesar.
Yeah, I've never had one.
There's different types of V8s. There's like spicy V8. There's like extra seasoned V8. There's high sodium V8 or maybe.
I feel like you drink a lot of V8.
I did. I love Clamato juice. I love V8 juice. I love tomato juice. But if I'm getting a nice alcoholic beverage, then I'm getting a Caesar.
I'm very disinterested in this conversation.
and so I'm curious then. So if you're getting a Caesar, what toppings do you prefer and what alcohol?
Which of the four presented here would you go for?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, easy. You go with the skids. I mean, that one was the winner. I mean, everything about it was perfect. I do like a muddy. Like I like a lot of Worcestershire sauce,
but you don't like the plickles or the
plickle.
That's what they. Ryan Jonesy say plickle. Pickled egg and pickle.
Yeah, keep the egg. I don't need the egg, but I don't know. Like I like bacon on my Caesar as well. So lots of good garnishes that everybody had, but definitely the skids were the winner.
Okay.
Is it a snack and a drink all in one? Is it a snack?
That's what it is. It looks like it's soup.
It's
soup with alcohol and
it's like a cold soup. With a cold soup.
I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it. And so since we're on the topic, I was going to wait for my turn, but so I did a poll to see. Because I feel crazy because I hate Caesars. I think they're the spawn. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I honestly I'm up there with like oysters. I don't get it. I feel like my opinion of oysters is I don't understand why people like them because all you end up doing is you take this big ass booger and then you cover it in hot sauce or horseradish or all kinds of other things. And you're like, oh, it's delicious. I'm like, no. You just are flavoring.
You like horseradish and you like hot sauce.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's just because you're saying it doesn't make it so.
Whoa, Victor, you can have your turn.
Give him the blue spatula.
That's the same way I feel about. Yeah, I don't have one, but I'm gonna get one. God damn it! It's the same thing with Caesars. I feel like I think it's disgusting. I don't understand tomato juice in general. I don't like tomatoes in general.
Oh well, then you're out of the.
But I am. No. But regardless. at this point, look at these concoctions. You don't care about the drink. You want all that amazing, crazy, like give me all the toppers.
Right.
I'll eat all that shit all day.
Yeah.
And I've seen stuff online where it's like these most like orgasmic displays of buffet sitting on top of a drink.
Sticking out of this glass.
It's
Yeah.
like, this is the greatest Caesar in the world. It's like, it's not a Caesar. It's a buffet and a soup. And I don't want the soup. Throw it away. And give me the, so all that say, I did a survey, 31 people. The answer was 54% of the people said hard no to Caesars.
So you know why, right?
Only 23.
Yeah, because they're all from the States who don't know what that is.
Exactly.
They're all
American.
You have a flawed pole. You have a flawed rod. You have a flawed pole. It just doesn't work.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she did.
Bite my tongue.
Listen, this is we have been using scientific Twitter polls since we started this show.
Scientific.
So I used one, and
I can't believe you've added that word in front of
You
your
might as well
poll.
have done the poll in Russian. It would have been as effective.
I don't care. 54% say you're wrong.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Anyway.
Tanya, is that all you had for
Yeah, I gotta give the Caesar a try. Caesar's on my list. So the whole mind games thing, the dealership, McMurray. Oh my God, that man. I love how Wayne and McMurray, turned to face each other during some of that banter back and forth. Like personally, nothing I hate more than car shopping. Like worst activity ever to do. I hate it. We drive our cars to the point where it dies at the end of at the edge of the road, and you just give your car keys over to somebody and walk away. Like that is we carry it to death, and then we go through the cycle all over again. So, finally, we have an answer as to why Marie Fred showed up and that she needed a truck. Are we getting to the end of the episode for what the exchange between them? Can we talk that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, the exchange of Marie Fred going into or just before she enters the truck, and that kind of pause and kind of awkwardness. Yeah. And Wayne offering, I think he offered his hand to shake
hands.
It looked
like she might want to go in for a hug, but he put his hand out
then that kind of pause on her, like the frame kind of stayed on her when she was in the car, kind of watching him walk away. Like it was some great shots and some moments there where you're like, okay, where are they going with that? Like, is that
nowhere
a lead to something else, or are we done now?
That's about as emphatic a nope that you can get from Wayne. He just closed the door, walked away, didn't look back, didn't give her a smile.
See ya.
He's done. He's paid his debt.
He's done, but is she done?
Oh, she may not, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what she's saying.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The Rock said so. Or
The Rock.
When in Rome.
That was Stone Cold, not The Rock.
Wayne doing the text updating to Rosie. It was, you guys talked about the whole texting and the etiquette. I kind of still don't know what is right and what is wrong.
We're telling you what's wrong.
I throw my name in there sometimes.
It's a text.
Well, okay. When is it right and when is it wrong? So if I'm like communicating with a person that I don't usually talk to very often,
if it's a text, it doesn't matter.
It's like somebody from the kids' school.
If it's a safe assumption that they don't have your name or number in their phone, like say someone you're texting,
then you might say,
hey, it's Tanya.
Yeah.
But if you're like, this is a friend, this is someone I know, I have sent them messages.
If you have a pre-existing conversation,
there's one and only use case to do that, and Matt has just described it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. For the regular Joe Blow, like I'm just like going back and forth, like it's a constant. But like a kid's, like the kid's school, like a contact or whatever, I always say, like, and I'll like say the person's name, hi, blah, blah, blah.
This is his girlfriend.
If you have an existing conversation saved on your phone already with that person, there's no need to put your name on it because they already know.
It happens once and once only.
Exactly. The very first time you contact somebody, that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Because afterwards they can just, if they don't know who it is, they can just scroll up and say, oh, it's so-and-so. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know.
Think of it as a single sign-on, right?
Yeah.
Single sign-on doesn't ask you for your password. It automatically signs you in.
Tanya's company doesn't believe in any of that technology shit.
Okay, never mind.
I'll consider it.
Anyway.
Okay, so Anik, this whole so scroll back.
Oh,
Bonnie set it up, the understudy. I was so waiting for it to be Glenn. And I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get Glenn, right? And I got excited about that. Disappointed when I saw Anik, but you know what? I
was not disappointed.
It was Derry.
I really liked her in that role. Like I really liked that she wasn't, the known for her boobs or known for her, and she really pulled it off. She really did it well. I feel that she really did it really well. I just really liked her in that role. She took control of the whole competition. I really liked it. I loved that Squirrely Dan used Montreal steak spice. That freaking steak spice keeps on coming up over and over again.
It should always be parts of the conversation. Yes.
It should. I just loved it. I loved it. My last note that I made here, if someone offers you a mint, you should absolutely take it. Hands down. Like if somebody's just fucking take the mint. And that Wayne was having such a hard time with
McMurray doesn't take hints. He doesn't feel shame. McMurray's shame button is broken.
That man going after women, he's relentless and crude, and oh my God, it would be very difficult to have him as a friend.
To be fair, he wasn't going after anybody. He was out there trying to help his friend.
He was window shopping, yeah.
And I love the banter. I do. I did like the banter between McMurray and the dealer. And like, what kind of salesperson, insults the person that's buying the car by saying, French drunk drivers. Like,
you know what? I know lots of salespeople who would say stupid shit like that.
I would just walk away. I'd be like, yeah, see ya. Like, wow. Anyways.
Thinking that they're being endearing and they're just being a-holes and they don't know.
No, I have no time for that.
Yeah. Matt, what did you think of this episode?
I think a lot. I'll focus on something. So overall, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. A couple quick, the Wayne texts, they killed me. I was laughing at every single one of them. Jonesy and Riley, when they're describing, I don't even know how he said it effectively when he's like the dill pickle and what was it? Did you have
the dill pickler, the pickle pepper? No, right? Plickle pepper and pickled egg, pickled pepper and pickled egg.
That I was in tears. I'm like, that was so brilliant, and he delivered that because I feel like that would be really hard to deliver.
Well, I just tried to do it right now.
Yeah,
can't do it.
I thought that was brilliant. The cold open, I thought was weird, but I love the cold open, and it's one of the rare times that they've trailed the joke on, and that was Derry and Dan's moment the rest of the episode, which was fine because it was funny and they kept kind of looping back. I like that they didn't overcomplicate the episode in the sense that they threw 1,000 timelines at us. They had two very distinct stories this time. They had the dealership and the Caesar competition. And there was nothing else. Like, it was like, you couldn't get lost in this with like random side scenes. It was great.
There was the cousins. There was the cousin talk.
But it was still all centered around what they were doing. They were still at the Caesar competition. So that was great. And again, you heard my opinion on Caesars. I think they're an abomination, but it's fine. I would not have had my hand up. I would have been 14 out of 15 in that one. Between us girls, the scene at the end when Rosie climbs into the truck with Wayne is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen.
In through the driver's seat, right?
Oh my God. Have you ever seen that shit
No.
before? That was my favorite.
That's how my cat gets on the couch. It's like, why did you have to walk over me? You could have just gone to the other side.
No, I love
you. Would be the one who would complain about Rosie climbing over your lap. No, thank you.
Oh my God.
No, it was good.
And she rode all the way back to the farmhouse with him on his lap.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Rosie, I got to interrupt. Rosie came to my house this week.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I forgot about
Oh my God. I was so freaking excited.
Not the real Rosie.
No. So sorry, I'm totally interrupting Matt right now. So sorry, you're saying about Rosie.
It's okay.
Unless she's moonlighting, maybe, who knows?
I don't go to grocery stores anymore. I had Costco delivered to us, and the delivery lady. So I opened the door to say thanks, and she was taking a picture and sending it, and looked up, and I'm like, "Holy crap! You're Rosie doppelganger!" Like, she was freaking Rosie standing there, and I'm like, "Wow!" Her hair, her size, her butt, like everything. I'm like, oh my God, Al would just die. He would absolutely be taking a picture right now. But she was through the door and I didn't do anything. But yeah, I saw her this week.
Continue, Matt.
That's all good, man. We're all cutting each other off. I love it. It's okay. And then I'll get to the dealership. So I'm trying to think. I'm very careful what I want to say here because I feel like I'm going to piss somebody off, but I don't mean it that way. So the dealership scene was fantastic. And I relate in the sense that I typically don't have a great opinion of salespeople. And if there's anyone sales, I this is not on a personal.
They accept it.
Yeah, they have to. They have to because they covered it so well. And I mean, I'll give you an example. So even this week, I'm working with a vendor in my work on something. And even before I met the person, one of my colleagues had met with them. And they asked her a very clear question. She gave her a very clear answer. The sales rep from this vendor didn't trust her answer for whatever reason. Then sent her an email later that day saying, "Oh, basically, I went above your head. I went to your other guy at your office who, I don't know how they knew each other, asked him the same question. I got a different answer. So I want to talk to you about your answer." I'm like, excuse me? Like, I was blown away for her and of this dude. And he was actually still dead wrong because the route he went, he asked the wrong question, the wrong context to get an answer that worked for him. Yeah. So then he could then push us on something. So, I mean, it's not applicable to all salespeople, but I just find there's this general, like, what they highlight is tactics and manipulative ways of doing things. And it's very old school and I don't buy into it. Mm-hmm. And as soon as, for me personally, when I see any of these things, I step away immediately. I'm like, nope. I don't want to work with you. I get it worked a long time ago. This is a new world. Tell me, I want to know what it is. Tell me the real way. Show me what's what. I will make a decision and we'll go from there. And if you treat me like a human, I'm going to be your best friend or I'm going to give you my take my money and go. But I hate these manipulative approaches of things that are so, like I said, archaic way of sales. Yeah. And, but again, they played off of that and it was fine.
They play the numbers, Matt. They play the numbers and the numbers say that most people are sheep and they fall for this stuff.
Who goes for that though? Like, but seriously.
They do. Everybody.
They do. Like, and I'm not gonna, I've definitely fallen for some of them before. And then afterwards I'm like, they totally did this, but it's all a tactic and it's a game. And it's like, you know, and McMurray was labeling them off one after another. He's like, they're doing this, and they're not wrong. These are all real things that happen. You will experience while you're being sold to on things. And it blows my mind. And I know, again, you're not going to get me with that because I recognize this, but there are still many people that will. And if it works, all the power to you. It's a hard thing to swallow sometimes when you're watching it. And I get everyone's making their career and they're living and all the power to you. I get very frustrated when I see some of these things happen in the real world. And I had experience this week. So when I watched this episode, I was like, yep, there it is. Like it was interesting, but they delivered it really well. It was a fun episode. I thought the sales rep at the dealership was fantastic and her shots were so well timed. Everything she did, she worked really well with them. I really thought this was a fantastic episode. All in, even despite my personal opinions on things, I thought they did a really, really good job on this one.
Since this one triggered you so much, you should go back in time and watch the Seinfeld episode when they're at the dealership, because that's that one will also push a lot of buttons for you, and it's actually quite funny. So yeah. But you remember Putty, the guy who dresses up like the devil? So he ends up he works at the dealership. So they came in to get a good deal, and then during that point, he and Elaine broke up for like 10 minutes, and that's when they went in to go in for the kill, and they thought and all of a sudden they're getting all these extra fine print things thrown at them, and all of a sudden they're being charged for this, that, and the other, and then they make up, and then all of a sudden those things disappear. So anyway, it's a really, really funny episode, but it's just totally on point, and it's going to trigger you to hell. So they should watch it.
Matt, I'm with you. I'm with you with salespeople, and I know I'm not a salesperson. I'm horrible at sales. I remember one time between jobs, I actually was desperate enough to try, or not try to apply, but actually work for Direct Energy. You know, the right?
Door to door.
And I did a 2 or 3 day, I can't remember now, training. Like 2 days of shadowing somebody while they go door to door, and this is business to business, not residential.
Yep.
And after my 2 or 3 days of training, I forget what it was, on my first day when I was alone, I walked into one business, I walked out, I called them, and I quit because I'm like, I'm not cut out for sales. It's just not something I'm good at. I recognize that about myself, and I just didn't want to do it.
And sorry, just before you know, I've done door to door as well. Same thing, business to business.
Yeah.
What I found out myself, I was actually very good at it. I did quite well, but I felt really shitty about myself afterwards. And that was my personal experience. I really
because you didn't believe in the product.
Well, no, it's not even that. I believed in it, but I didn't like the way they trained you to do it. I'm like, it just felt so ingenuine.
No, I know. You know what? One of my first jobs, it wasn't my first job. One of my first jobs was selling knives, selling vector knives.
Of course it was. Why wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah. And they're still around today. You can look them up. And there's a whole thing about how people who work there get scammed and stuff like that. But I was actually really good at it. And so it's not door to door. You make appointments because it takes about an hour to demo them, because you have to bring all the knives out of their kitchen and show them how shit they are compared to these wonderful knives that are made out of. And the knives, you go in and throw in all the kind of things like, the handles are made out of thermal resin, which is the same stuff that bowling balls are made out of. Somehow that's supposed to be impressive, even though bowling balls have chips all over them. But anyway, but it sounds cool. And the thing is, you start by trying to sell the highest set, which is like $800. And then, but you know what? I've never, ever left any premises without selling at least the last thing, which is shears. And the reason I would sell them is because I would always take a penny and turn the penny and cut it into a corkscrew with these shears. What? So they teach you this technique to how to cut.
Ray's nodding his head as if he knows what you're talking about. Ray, do you have anything to add to this?
I think in the U.S. it was called like Cutco or something, but my college roommate did it for a little while. Little pyramid scheme there.
A little pyramid scheme.
He used to do the penny trick was always the.
Oh wow!
You always finish with that because people cannot not buy those, even though when in your life ever will you ever need to do that
to cut a penny?
But why would you want a pair of scissors that can't do that when you can have a pair of scissors that can do that? It's just common sense.
Okay.
So
Anyway, the bigger question is, do you still have a pair of those knives and shears?
I did. I left them with my parents when I moved out. But they are incredible knives. They are absolutely.
Oh wow! He still swears by them.
I swear.
Are you like Avon rep right now for knives? Is that what's going on?
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I'm good at sales. I can do the thing, and it got to the point when I was with a company, a couple of before Monaris. So the reason I came to Monaris is the company I was with. They wanted me to move away from learning technology, and go into business development, and basically sell sell the company services to other companies. And I did that for a while. And then I realized I'm forced to sell this stuff to companies, whether they truly need it or not.
Right.
And that's when I have to say, I can't do that, because I can't say I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, don't buy this. You actually are better off by going a different route. And there's a better way to do what you need to do.
Right.
But obviously, that's not the company line. So that's why I started looking for a change, and that's how we ended up here. So there you go.
And I don't know how we ended up on knives and stuff from Matt. But Matt, are you done, or did you have anything else?
No, it's your turn. I cut you off. Remember?
No, I haven't started mine yet. Okay, so
I thought you did.
No, okay, you're done then, right? All right.
I think Tanya cut off Matt, and that's how we got it.
I'm sorry. It's just a shit show, isn't it?
All right, Ray, make sure you cut off Al at some point.
Yeah,
okay.
my thoughts on this
Just
episode.
jump right in there.
Yeah. I was kind of disappointed that the reason Marie Fred came around was to buy a fucking truck. I'm like, really? That's it? That's the whole reason? We've been like talking about what it is for the last year and whatever, and it's because she needs help buying a truck. So I don't know whether they abandoned storylines because they weren't expecting this shutdown for as long and whatever, or maybe they had to change things. It felt kind of like very, very anticlimactic. So having said that, I loved the whole dealership scene. I thought it was a lot of fun. I loved how Wayne, I've watched it a few times now. So knowing how it ends, I went back and watched it again, just watching his reaction and the way he reacts to Marie Fred, because what's that, Matt?
Can I add one quick rebut to that?
What's that?
So to Victor's point from last season, remember when it kind of ended, we saw Marie Fred, and his point was, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care, because she was kind of a nothing forever. And then suddenly she made a pitch. She's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So her entrance as I need help with a truck didn't really bother me that much, because I'm like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's it. Good. I'm glad that's it.
I just,
I have to agree. It was a bit of a smoke and mirrors kind of thing, where they tried to make it more than it was.
Yeah.
But I was happy that they ended up doing this, because we had enough.
And they repeated the scene twice. The end of season 9.
Yeah.
She's in the parking lot, and Wayne comes out to meet her. And then at the end of last week's episode, she again appears in the parking lot and walks into
it didn't even make sense, but that's
exactly
the thing. It didn't even make sense, because a month passed by, and so we made the joke. What was she doing hiding in a bush?
Yeah. So again, it was just very, very anticlimactic, and I feel like maybe something was dropped there. I think maybe there was an intended storyline.
Right, might be. Yeah, you're probably right.
Because
but it ended up being for the best.
Sure. Okay. I don't mind.
What would you have felt good with?
Well, I don't know, but I was hoping that they would give something more than she wants to buy. And so, because I don't buy, think about when they broke up, when she cheated on, I don't care how much he thinks he owes her. He spent an entire season locked up in a shed watching that really bad show that Victor hated, because he was getting over his broken up engagement. He was heartbroken. He was like shattered man. And now he's helping her buy a truck.
That is the true reason why I don't care.
But she helped his sister, which he holds higher than anything.
I guess.
And the way he handled that whole thing was brilliant. Like when they got into that truck,
you're right.
I thought that was fantastic.
That's what. So that part, I loved it. I loved it. I loved that.
Now I hope she's not buying the truck because she sold the ring. Sorry, that was just a thought that I had.
So I was just, I hope it felt a little bit like this was a last ditch effort on her part to get back into his life somehow, and he shut that door, which I'm totally fine with. It just felt like it was a little disappointing there, because her English seems plenty good enough, as does her knowledge of trucks. First of all, when she had some meaty dialogue parts in this episode, and you can barely tell she's got an accent when she's
but she didn't know what a white whale was, and so without them, that's
fine, and that's very convenient. Who doesn't know Moby? I don't buy that just because you're in Quebec, you don't know the story Moby Dick. Anyway, so I know that they needed to prove that she did indeed need help to bargain with that truck, but she didn't. She knew that truck. The only answer she couldn't give Wayne when he was riddling off all those questions about the truck was how much torque the truck had. She had an answer for every other one of his questions. And anyway, so there's that. I want to give props to Trace, our buddy on the DM group, because when the trailer first came out and we were analyzing it scene by scene, he said it looks like she's sitting in a dealership when we were analyzing that scene. Yeah, there's like balloons in the background, blah blah blah. So I think it was Trace who said it. I'm pretty sure. So I want to give him kudos because I think he called that.
Why do balloons? Why are I don't know, balloons in dealerships?
Yeah, balloons in those.
They are.
Floppy
wavy crazy
guys.
Yeah. Anyway, I've never had a Caesar. I have never had a Caesar. I'm not a fan of V8 juice, but this episode makes me want to try a Caesar. I want to try.
Who's never had a Caesar?
I've never had a Caesar because I don't.
Never had a Caesar.
Me. I'm telling you, I've never had a fucking Caesar.
Wait.
Ray's never had one.
I'm sure I've not had one.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys are raising your. First of all, Matt, how is it that you're raising your hand and you've never had a? How can you be so?
Matt doesn't like tomatoes.
Something you've never had.
I've tried Clamato juice or V8. It's disgusting.
V8 and Clamato have nothing to do with each other. First of all,
what is the main ingredient in this drink?
Tomato. Yeah, but
Matt doesn't like tomato.
You're biasing yourself. Is that a thing? You're biodegrading yourself by
That's less of a thing.
You were closer.
Yeah, you were closer with biasing there.
You're beyond compost.
You can't not like tomatoes, and then if you don't like tomatoes, then obviously you're not going to like Caesars or Bloody Marys or anything, or pasta or lasagna or ketchup. Or,
you're taking it too far. We've had this discussion. If it's in a sauce form, it's okay.
Or pizza.
Everything else is out the window.
All right. Okay, we're gonna be.
Damn it!
I digress.
Poor Ray hasn't had his word yet. So let me just say, I enjoyed the Caesar off. That was fun. I enjoyed it so much that I actually want to try Caesar now.
I gotta do Caesar this week.
That was fun. My cousin is more hick than yours, back and forth throughout the whole episode. You're right, Matt. That's the first time I think they've carried the cold open right throughout the episode. That was a lot of fun to watch. And
they didn't carry it all throughout. It ended
right to the end.
No. They picked it back up at the end. They didn't carry it through.
They did. I just didn't clip any clips. But every time we went back to Modine's, every time
they were making subtle comments.
There was a new scene at Modine's. It always started with Derry and Squirrely Dan. Fuck. Too many fucking squirrely people doing the thing.
Victor's down.
Anyway. And then the only other comment I have is the music selection so far. So if last season 9 was the return of the cold open, like to great cold opens again. And not to say that the music hasn't been great throughout, but I've noticed that in season 10, the music's been like exceptional. Like it's been really, really good. So kudos. Again, they've had time, I guess. So those are my notes for this episode. Ray, I'm so sorry. You haven't had a word in edgewise, so you take as long as you need, buddy.
I appreciate it. First of all, I was a little bit sad that Caesar wasn't a salad. I was expecting like back and chicken, some Buffalo Caesars going around.
Oh, I love Caesar salad. Yeah.
Basically.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I was Caesar salad right now.
Can somebody please explain to me what Clamato juice is? I purposely didn't Google it so I could learn something.
Victor?
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very similar to tomato juice, but it's got a zing. It's got a zest. It's got
some kind of seafood seasoning or something in it, right?
It's got
oyster. It's got oyster.
Clam.
It's got clam juice in it. That's right. That's
in the title.
It's in the title.
It's in the title.
Tomato and clam.
Yeah. But
I just wanted to make sure it was that simple.
Yeah. No, it is. And it's not, and it doesn't have and the thing is, it's not like if you smell it, it's not going to smell like fish. It doesn't have a fishy smell to it. It's like if somebody didn't tell you, if you didn't call it a Clamato, if it didn't have like a fishy title, then you would not even think that there's any connotation there. You would just think, oh, it's like a spiced up tomato.
It's an
juice.
abomination. Is what it is.
My thing is
It's not as tomatoey. It's not as tomatoey. It's more like a
clammy.
It's watery. It's a watery tomato.
The big difference is like tomato juice is a thick juice.
Yeah.
Clamato juice, there's no thickness to it. It's more like a liquid.
Yeah.
And like the viscosity is not the same.
Viscosity.
If that helps.
Oh, can you put viscosity, Victor?
Yeah,
on the next
that'll be
round?
next week. Yeah, that'll be next week. Thank you for that.
All right.
By the way,
please continue.
By the way, the word you were looking for, Tanya, is register. You had a low you spoke in a low register.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for that explanation. I appreciate that.
We mansplained like we're the best of them here.
So I was a little bit worried the whole episode that it was going to end up with Wayne doing something stupid. And I was relieved when it didn't. I rolled my eyes a little bit. I thought they were going to do some sort of Wayne's the white whale or Mary Fred's the real white whale of Wayne. And I got a little annoyed the first time I watched it. And then as I got past it, I was like, okay, that's not, they intentionally wanted us to feel like that was going to happen. And then just like took a sigh of relief at the end of the episode. So that's kind of how I felt. All the stuff at the bar was just really funny stuff. Really enjoyed that. And then, I think Wayne handled himself great.
Yeah.
Exactly how you'd expect somebody, man, a character like that to behave. Rosie with the little demonstration for how to trust somebody. That was nice to see. I thought it was a really solid episode.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good point. Like they've said it before, is if you trust them until they give you a reason not to. But yeah, she definitely displayed that in action in this episode.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on that, and it's so true.
Yeah,
I mean that genuine trust doesn't exist as often as it probably should, and I like that they really sold that here.
Yeah,
and they still show that they were both thinking about it too. Yeah. Like Wayne's texting her, like just trying to subtly, "Hey, I'm thinking about you," and she's like, "Oh, I don't care," but she's still looking and she still appreciates it. So I just thought it was a really good example of how to not suck.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well put. Yes. Great. All right. Let's move on to ratings then. Victor, what do you give this episode?
Oh man. So I agree that there was a couple of areas there that kind of made you kind of scratch your head. So what the hell was all that about? What was all this lead up with Murray Fred? That ended up kind of being nothing. But you don't take points away for that, and you don't take points away for sleazy salesman either. I mean, this wasn't about putting salespeople on the pedestal. No. In fact, it was quite the opposite. So I almost feel like, Matt, maybe something happened, but maybe you got taken.
Where did that salesperson touch you, Matt? Show us.
Yeah. Show us on the doll. He's blinking. Yeah. But all that, in a cold open was, it's not like an award winner, but it was great. And I do enjoy when they move, when there's continuity from the cold open into the episode, because then it makes it feel like it's not a throwaway, that it's not, it's like, the episode was 21 minutes, but really it was only 18 minutes because the cold open. No, this was part of it. It was it's the full package. So you got to give this one a fresh. It was a good fun ride all the way through. So a solid fresh.
What I'm hearing, Victor, is that you agree that this is a cold open, even though a few seasons ago you argued that cold opens don't continue.
That right there
aren't part of the storyline.
No, I don't know. If you rewind, that was not my issue with the cold open. If you rewind, there needs to be
it's okay, Victor. I just Joe Rogan'd you right now. I just caught you live.
Yeah,
contradicting.
But you didn't. And the beauty of recording is that we can go back and actually find out what my beef was. So I feel strong with my allegiance to myself.
All right, we'll check the receipts. Okay, Tanya.
Shocking that the blue spatula didn't come up there.
I know, right?
Yeah, you know what? And we didn't even talk about Dickens. Like he played a great role too in this episode. You know, his banter back and forth and him with the two other auctioneers and great role that he was playing on this one. It was a great episode. Like it didn't, there was no offense, and I liked that it was just the two things. You guys were saying that they kept on pulling in the whole second cousin issues. But yeah, it wasn't distracting. It kept on point. It had some great storylines, and fresh for sure, I think. Excellent. All right, Matt.
Oh my God, I'm so upset for us that we didn't talk about Dickens, because I even had that written down.
Dickens, for
on
sure.
How much I loved Dickens in this episode. His drunk ass sitting there, and I'll give my rating second, but I'm upset that we didn't spend more time talking about him because he was great. And what I loved, I think, most about him was he was like a little kid at a candy store with his buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this wasn't the Dickens. Like, as soon as he was like, these are my friends, like, these are my other auction, he was right in his realm, so happy. Yeah. I think it was the first time and I'm probably wrong, but the first time he didn't correct someone when they called him Dickskin. Mm-hmm. So when Bonnie yells at him, he just said, hey, jumped up, because he was so infatuated with the fact that his friends were there. Yeah. And he didn't care. He's like, I'm here. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. Let's do the stupid Caesar thing. They got drunk. I thought he was fantastic. So I want to get, you're right, Tanya. Good call. He needs credit because I thought he delivered a whole different element that we got so lost on Caesars in this conversation that we left him out. So Dickens, we love you. You did an amazing job. This episode is 100% a fresh one. I literally can't find anything I didn't like. And yeah, Victor, you made a point. I'm not about the sales thing. Yes, I have my opinion on that. It's not taking away from my enjoyment of the episode. Okay. In fact, it's actually quite the opposite. Because if I can relate to things, even if it's on a negative angle, it still brings me into the episode. It makes it relatable. I loved it. I thought they did a fantastic job from start to finish. No, it's an easy.
I'm glad, because I thought you were setting us up.
No.
Foul play there towards the end.
No, despite my antics, I have a level of maturity where I can differentiate my personal feelings on things towards, but no, I would never let that happen unless it would really hit there's some real certain areas that they trigger, and that's like a hard no. This is not. Yeah, I have my opinion, but I have a lot of sales friends. I love them. There's just the tactics, but they sold them well in this episode. And they did a great job. So the episode as a whole was very strong. So it's an easy fresh.
Okay. This episode, let's see. It's a very dense dialogue episode. Like when they talk about, they shoot, I don't know how many pages of script a day or whatever. I feel like this episode here is probably 50% more script than most of their episodes. There was a lot there. Like I had 20 clips that I clipped, and it took me much longer. And I left out most of the Squirrely Dan and Derry back and forth because there was just too much shit. It reminded me a lot of the relationships episode with the witty whip fast back and forth dialogue. This time it wasn't Wayne and his date, but it was Wayne and McMurray with the dealer, with the sales lady, and I thought she did a great job, but not quite as funny. And not quite. It's nowhere near as funny as relationships. It was fun. It was okay. It makes me want to try a Caesar. I loved the conclusion of the Marie Fred role. Hopefully, knock on wood. On Letterkenny. So there's a lot of really good stuff here. So I give it a fresh, but it's just a fresh.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait.
And there's the unicorn.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I regret nothing.
All right. So Ray, you got to see the unicorn. How do you feel?
Sorry. I feel fantastic. It's absolutely fresh.
All right.
It's a great follow-up to the first episode. Just fresh, very fresh.
Okay, cool. So we'll move on to top fives. Oh,
Ray hasn't given his opinion of
who
or
no, I got everyone's
his fresh.
I've got everyone's rating.
Oh, you did give fresh.
Yeah, Ray
sorry,
gave it a
that's
fresh.
my bad.
Finish off that wine there.
I'm
Welcome
sorry.
to the show, everybody.
I haven't had wine in a week. It might be getting to me.
The Weight Watchers is. By the way, I'm dropped 5 pounds in a week. Yeah.
Where?
What do you mean where? At home. I've been at home. I can't leave. I can't go
He
anywhere.
lost it. It's somewhere in the house. We can't find it.
We're supposed to support the guy, Victor.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
I guess that came off bad.
Where did you lose
it?
That's like when Tanya said we didn't know any runners.
There you go.
Anyway.
It all evens out now.
All right, let's move on to. I know what you're trying to say there, Victor, and I appreciate the sentiment, if not the delivery.
It's underneath his beard.
Yeah. I hid it under the beard. Okay, so top 5. Victor, does this make your top 5?
It does not.
No. Tanya?
No. I'm still waiting for that. I want the prostate exam. When's that one?
2 episodes. Matt, does this make your top 5?
I'm gonna surprise you guys.
Oh,
it does. I loved it, man.
Huh.
Despite all the missed opinion and the feelings coming into the end here, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna knock off my number 5, which is Yard Sale Saturday, I believe, or whatever it's called. And I'm gonna pop this in there. I loved it. I
like the Dicker episodes because Yard Sale is a Dicker episode, and now this is a.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah. No, I genuinely enjoyed it. There's no flaws in this episode, in my opinion.
Okay.
Was it the funniest thing in the world? No, but it was. I really liked what they did with all the topics they covered, even though 2 of the main topics were things that
I was gonna say
I don't even like.
You don't even like sales, like Dickie.
I don't like Caesars, and I don't like
Caesars.
salespeople, and
and it made your list.
Well,
impressive.
Good. It means he's open-minded. Excellent.
I'm very open-minded.
Ray, do you have a top 5 you'd like to share?
No, this is not in my top 5.
Not in your top 5. Okay, cool.
What are some of your favorites?
Yeah, what are some of your favorites?
So St. Perfect's Day is probably my favorite.
Wow.
Yeah. Just I don't know if it was like nostalgia or what, but it felt very very familiar to me. Attention's Paid, obviously.
Oh,
I think that's unanimous.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the episode, but the Canada Gooses episode.
Yeah.
With Coach
and everybody. The golf course.
It just I had a baseball coach in high school who got really pissed because we had this field that was just covered in geese everywhere, and somebody tried to chuck a baseball at it at one point. Really dumb, something like a dumb 13, 14-year-old would do. Coach freaked out, explained to us the majesty of Canada Gooses. Turns out he's from Ontario.
So he's representing.
Yeah, so I like the Canada Goose one, really hit home with me. And then the season 9 was probably the last of my favorites.
The last episode of season 9? Oh, we lost Ray. Did we lose Ray?
Oh, come back on.
I think I lost him.
There you go.
Oh, you're back. Can you hear us?
Sorry, I got cut off there for somehow.
We got you.
Okay,
sorry about
that. Sorry. Your last one there, you said something about season 9. Which one? The last episode of season 9?
Sorry, no, the premiere.
Oh, premiere.
So
yeah,
with Katie's cold open.
Yes, that was definitely a good one. Awesome. Okay, let's move on to what do we have here? Oh, MVPs. Tanya, are you going to be ready for your MVP?
Shit. Okay, thanks.
Victor, good thing we're starting with you. Take your time.
Well, you know what? I was coming in with McMurray to be my MVP today, but I'm going to put him. He's going to have to be a runner-up for me because Matt really helped me with this one. And so I have to go OG here, and I have to give this to the Caesar.
I knew you were going to pull that shit.
Yeah, because with all the nonsense and the talk from all of you degens about this, you got to give it to the star of the show, because this episode, as much as it was about the dealership, it was all the fun was actually back at Modine's with the Caesars. So got to give it to the Caesars, and specifically the Skids Caesar, because that was the winner.
Okay,
in my books.
Tanya, have you figured it out yet?
there was some great stuff, but I think the person I liked the most was Anik. Anik. I liked how I liked her in that role. I liked her taking control of the competition and how she kept things, back to where it was supposed to be, even though it kept on trying to stray. And that's
okay.
That's who I picked.
Matt?
I feel like I'm very out of character tonight. I actually liked so many people in this episode. I really struggle. And I'm like, Tanya, I gave this some real thought. And at the end of it, where I landed, believe it or not, was on Mary Fred.
Interesting.
And I'll tell you, and it probably marries well with my opinion on some of the episode, was how she stiffed the rep at the end there. When she pulled out that recording of what she said about Quebec drivers and drunk drivers. I was like slow clap. I'm like, well done. Like she had her hook, line, and single point. She's like, I own you. You're giving me the truck. I thought that was brilliant. And it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. So credit where it's due. And she got her truck and she got the price she wanted.
Yeah.
But she didn't get her man.
No, 80,000 clicks for almost $30,000. I don't think that's much of a deal anyway, but
it was a truck though. It's not a car.
Anyway, okay.
Fiat.
It's not a Kona.
Okay, so Marie Fred, that's an interesting pick because let's see. I've got 2 runner-ups. Rosie, I thought was a lot of fun, especially and a lot of it was not any of her dialogue, but mostly her reactions. I was going to say
her
reactions to the text.
There's no fun.
Her reactions to the texts were. I thought she did a lot with just that.
Her facial
and well, plus she's just damn hot. But anyway,
she's
I really appreciated Rosie in this episode, but that's not my MVP. Dickens was a lot of fun. He was like, Matt, I totally agree with you. When you said that we didn't give him enough time, I agree. I thought he was a lot of fun, but he's not my MVP. He's a runner-up. My MVP is Marie Fred.
Hey!
And I wrote this down before we started recording because she was always going to be the MVP. I thought she did an amazing job and acting, like in terms of acting, like if you watch the episode, I don't know how many times you guys watch it. I watched it multiple times. So when knowing what the trigger, when Lisa says the whole thing about when the dealer says the whole thing about Quebec's like driving drunk, watch her face. She says a lot in the look that if you were paying attention, you knew that she was miffed about that. And then fast forward to the triumphant scene that Matt's talking about, was really well done. Again, like it was her drop the mic scene. And then fast forward again to when Wayne walks her to the truck, her performance of what her expectation versus what happened. And when Wayne closes the truck door in her face, basically, and walks away without looking back, everything she did there was really well done. So I really, and her reactions to the offbeat things that McMurray said. Every time he said something like mentioned snatch or mentioned the woman wasn't wearing a bra, watch Marie Fred. She did a really great job. And so I had to give her the MVP for this one. Right?
So runner-up would be Rolled, just for the beefeater phrase there. And then I think the winner is Rosie for me. One of my favorite things in comedies is when there's like really subtle good acting. And like you said, when she's reading the text messages, since Peaky Blinders was mentioned in the episode, Tom Hardy in Peaky Blinders does the best acting without speaking ever. And so I'm just a sucker for that sort of stuff. So Rosie's reading the text messages was probably my favorite part. So she gets the MVP.
I got to watch that Peaky Blinders. I haven't seen it.
Yes, you do.
I've only done it. I've done a season and a half. I need to get back. It's so fucking good though.
Awesome. All right. So great MVPs. Let's move on to see the future. Is there anything from this episode that I can't think of anything that hints to anything in the future, but Victor, is there, what would you like to see now or
I need to see Glenn. Where the hell is Glenn?
Yeah.
Bring back Glenn. Maybe Glenn and Dirks are going to be dating or something like that. I don't know. Let that be the future. That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, he'll be like, Glenn the Redeemer, and he's going to bring, you bring Dirks to the good side.
But do you want to see Dirks come back? I mean, I know you've already known how you feel about Marie Fred.
I like Dirks. I think he's run its course already, but I wouldn't be I'd be more disappointed to see Marie Fred come back than if rather.
So I was going to ask you that because I know, you've made it clear that you're how you feel about the Marie Fred character, but no part of this episode has redeemed it at all. Not necessarily to be Wayne's love interest, but would you not want to see her back at all?
No, because it doesn't make sense because she spent the whole month in that stupid town and still did not acclimate herself to anybody. Right. So, nobody knew that she was there. So clearly she didn't feel she was
I don't think she spent the month in the town. I think she used the produce stand portal and came in when she needed to.
Sure. Well, maybe not. But the point is, she was at no point was there any inkling that she was going to be part of the crew.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? She's an outsider as far as I'm concerned. Anik's more part of the crew now than her. So I don't know. There's no place for her. There's no reason for her to exist.
Yeah.
She's not dating anybody. Right. No one knows about her. There's nothing left between her and Wayne. Mm-hmm. So the dealer probably never wants to see her again. I don't know. Just we already have so much, these episodes are so short and we don't have time for the people we love.
Right.
So you know what I mean? No.
Make more time for the people you love. That's very.
That's what I'm.
That's very hallmark of you, there, Victor. All right, Tanya.
I'm sorry. I need a few minutes on that. Okay. What are we talking about?
Future. Is there anything you want to see? Does this episode trigger anything that you want to see in the future?
Yeah, Glenn. I agree with Victor, hands down. I want more Glenn. I love Glenn and the Dickens, the Dicks.
The Dicks. Oh yeah. Well, we'll get more of them, and we get more Glenn. We've seen Glenn comes back for at least one episode, but yeah, for sure. Matt, is there anything?
There isn't.
No.
I feel like at this. 2 episodes in, they've actually gone ahead and closed off everything that we were wondering about or caring about from previous seasons. And now they've given themselves a blank slate. So I'm holding on for the ride. I'm looking forward to what's coming. I don't even want to guess. I just bring it on. I think this is a fantastic start to the season and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The Shoresy storyline, right? There's
still that. There's still that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's the Shoresy storyline, but you're right. There's nothing else. I mean, there was no hint at all of anything between Bonnie and Derry at the Caesar competition. So it doesn't look like that. And in fact,
and Coach wasn't involved in this.
Derry was drooling over a Nick again. So who knows if a Nick sticks around, whether there might be a reprisal there, but yeah, you're right. There's not much else. Ray, have you seen the rest of season 10?
No.
Oh, okay. So is there anything you want to
binge it after this?
Were you?
So I didn't blow anything.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
So then what are you looking forward to?
I have this, I don't know that I'm looking forward to it because I think if this actually happened, I think it'd be potentially bad, but I feel like there's something up between Katie and Daryl.
Romantically, you mean?
Yeah. I think, I don't know if it's going to be like one of those one night mistake things and everybody just gets weird for an episode or something, but I just have a weird feeling there's something there. I know the cold open is its own thing, but they're together to start the episode sort of by themselves, which I thought was weird. And then Katie has a couple looks when Daryl's going through the, looking at Anik and there's that whole conversation with that table. So I don't know. I feel like there might be something up there.
Well, I mean, Katie was just as thirsty for Anik as everyone else was, though.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting. I mean, that would be an interesting storyline if it ever happened. Definitely, especially considering what Wayne's reaction might be to his buddy Derry.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine that.
All right. So the only other thing I have here is just the results of last week's Tanya's Twitter poll. This is crazy. Which love interest would you prefer for Derry? Apropos to what we were just talking about, Ray. This poll got 574 fucking votes.
I don't even remember asking the question.
Well,
I think I was a little jealous at this point.
So, I mean, my polls get like 30 votes sometimes on a good day, maybe 50. 574. I guess people had a lot to say about that. And the two options were Bonnie, McMurray, and a Nick. And this is kind of just a reaction to,
that's funny.
From last season, it looked like Bonnie might be an option, but then a Nick comes back. So which one would you rather have? I remember Danielle saying that she'd rather have a Nick because you got to let the paint dry still on Bonnie. But Twitter
but then they dropped it completely with the whole Bonnie thing.
And you know what? Twitter disagreed anyway. They think 84.8% of those 500 people say it should be Bonnie McMurray.
Yeah, of course.
Over 15.2%.
And in this episode, Derry totally was like, so unique.
Yeah, well, yeah.
How's it going?
Well, yeah.
Like he completely bypassed the whole Bonnie standing right there.
Yeah. So, we'll see if they pick up on that or, I doubt it because again, if she cheats, it's over, right? So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, there's got to be some kind of a struggle there. So, all right, we move on finally to. We're running on a marathon episode again here. God. So let's go to final comments. Victor, what do you got?
What I got? Well, first, Ray, thank you so much for joining us. I have to say you're a very patient man. We did a lot of talking, and so I feel like it took a lot for you to
break through
your turn. So good on you. And then we learned at the end that you're additionally patient in kind of having force yourself not to watch the rest of the season, just not
kudos.
to kind of have fresh take with us today. So we appreciate that about you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you're on, feel free to interject more. As you see, that's the norm here. So, you're not kind of breaking the rules.
I think he was afraid of the blue spatula, Victor. You intimidated him.
That got out in the first, 30 seconds when you introduced him as a Bruins fan, but that's all right. None of us are perfect. So we'll give you a pass on that one.
Tanya.
I reiterate what Victor is saying. Ray, thank you so much for coming out. It was a pleasure having you. Absolutely jump in whenever, because that's apparently what we're doing. My apologies for the trigger happy. I haven't had wine all week, and my God, I was very I drank it all. Anyways,
it hit her hard.
Fun as always. Thank you so much. And I really want to see the prostate one. When's that coming up?
Oh my God!
I know.
In a couple of weeks.
Fixated on it now.
You're making
better not disappoint.
You're making it too big. You're
I know. I am.
I know.
It's true.
You know what's coming up next week?
About 10%.
You know what's coming up next week?
What's coming up?
The episode next week is called Dick Meat.
What?
Exactly.
Dick.
Yes. So guess what?
Dick.
Oh, the DYCK.
Yes.
Okay. So the Dickens. Not Dickens.
What is happening?
What's happening?
She's having a stroke right now. Noah Dick is making his return next week.
Dick is happening next week.
Yes. So, and that's what she's distracted. Victor, come on. Matt, your final comments.
Boy,
sort yourself out, right?
Better, doesn't it? Ray, such a pleasure, my friend. I'm glad you made it. I'm loving this season, and there's all these new faces, and I'm so thrilled that everyone joins us. I hope you had fun, man. Again, I know we did a lot of ranting this time, a little more cutting off than we normally do. I don't know. We got a little rowdy over Caesars and sales, and I don't know, man.
It's
what
the
the
Friday night aspect of it all?
Yeah, Friday night.
That could be it. That could be it. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys all rescheduling for me. I know. I think I pinged. I pinged you on Tuesday nights.
Oh, you were getting gears from the DM group too.
I just remembered it was my birthday.
Group. No, I'm kidding, guys. I love you.
There's a couple of sad posts. Who was it?
I think Joey took a shot. Like, what am I gonna do on Friday morning when there's no show?
Yeah. Oh, and Mike Benelli posted a picture or a GIF representing him at lunchtime with
nothing to do
because he can't listen to the produce stand. So we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate how
I love it. Those actually made me laugh even more and reinforce that I made a good choice. So
Right, of course.
So I don't know. This is always fun. I mean, like I said, I've had a rough week. These are always highlights for me. So thanks to everyone who takes part and joins us, and for all of you guys. This is so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I had a great week, but I get it. Yes. It's been a challenging week.
Christmas.
Yeah. It's Christmas for Al. Challenging week. I yeah.
Blue spatula.
There you go. I got it one last time there. Challenging week. And so, yes, you guys are right. This is always a highlight of the week. I was looking forward to it, and I'm glad we got to meet you, Ray, not in person, but you know what I mean? Other than just on the DM group, we got to meet you. Great job, and hopefully we can have you back, and feel free to join us on Ag Hall socials now too, now that you know how this works. And yeah, looking forward to next week. Ray, you got anything?
Just thank you for having me. Thanks for doing a podcast about a comedy like Letterkenny. It really, on the commute, it just makes it so much easier. It goes by quick. Makes me not want to drive off the side of the road and into a bridge embankment or something like that. So
I don't know. Some of the things that Victor says makes me want to drive off the side of the road sometimes. But
yeah, I think in the future I'll go at Victor about Misfire and also the Maple Leafs. But for now, just thank you. It's been a lot of fun to listen and catch up, and appreciate it.
Good. I hope you had fun.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to play us off here with one of those great songs that I was talking about before. This one here is from this episode. It's called Talking Distance by Sunbeam Sound Machine. Let me spool this one up here. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we recap and review episode 3 of season 10, Dick Meat, with our buddy Brian Tan from the Plotaholics podcast making his Produce Stand debut. Don't forget to give our sponsor Diabolical Coffee some love. They are at diabolicalcoffee.com. Right now, you can use the promo code Produce Stand for 10% off any purchase from their site. If you'd like to support the podcast, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or become a patron. There is a Patreon link on our site or Twitter profile at Produce Stand Pod. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Produce Stand Pod. Thank you for joining us. Now we're going to go have some Caesars, except for Matt. On behalf of Ray, Victor, Matt, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.